Hi, this is Brenda with Workshop Scraps by Brenda. And I'm doing a video. I got a request on my YouTube channel to show more details, maybe instructions on how I get oversized cuts, printing cuts, with my Cameo Silhouette using my regular home printer versus a wide format printer. I just have a regular printer that prints 8.5 by 11-inch paper. So, this is my third time taping this video. The first time the quality of the video was bad. The second time there was no sound. So we'll see how this one is. It gives me more practice. Maybe I'll be quicker. So the first thing I do to remind me is I change my page to letter size. So either click where it says use printer settings or letter size. So I click letter. I always want to make sure that my registration marks are on. You turn them on and off over here on the right hand side with this registration button, show registration marks, and close that window. And also I try to create a habit of making sure that I click for my image to have no cut until I'm done, or check to see how I'm cutting before I print and cut to make sure it's just the outer edge. So the image that I showed on my video was a document stuffing image, but I'm actually going to try Tinkerbell. Like I said, I've done this 3 times. This is the third time. The last time was a Tinkerbell that I'm actually going to use. I saved it. So what I'm going to do is go to Google search. And that's the Tinkerbell image that I used right there. And she needed a lot of editing. And the reason why she needed a lot of editing was because she doesn't have a solid background. It's cute, but she doesn't have a solid background. So I'm going to go back and see if I can find one that's going to be simpler to use. High resolution Tinkerbell, let's see, with that white background. And search. Of course, I might not get all of what I searched for, but it'll be close enough. Like, she's got polka dots. She's sort of high resolution, though. I'm going to use her. So I'll spend a lot of time searching. All of these have white backgrounds, so let's try this one where she's flying in the air and view image. She's fairly clear. Her eyes are clear. So I'm going to select her. You can either do a screen copy, or I have this snippet tool that I'm going to use because that keeps me from having to cut out so much of Tinkerbell. And I'm just going to draw a box around what I want to copy and carry over to my Silhouette software. There. So I'm going to hit edit copy. Oops, not pen, edit copy. Minimize it. Go to my Silhouette and paste. There she is. But she has this white background right there. So what I'm going to do is try to trace her. It's going to be a little challenging because of her wings. They're so transparent that they don't create much of a contrast for the Silhouette program to notice or to, pick up. But I'm going to try. So we're going to click on the trace window, select trace area, and come over here. And I'm purposely not selecting this green line on the edge. That's one less thing to cut out. We'll see. I'm going to unclick high pass filter and slowly increase my threshold. I don't have her wings. If I can just get her wings, they're so close to the color of the background. Oops. I think that's pretty good. It's a little ragged, but it's pretty good. Oops. Let's try it again. Again. Weird. I know sometimes I can use my low pass threshold to smooth the lines on the edge, like so. But that's not smooth enough, so I'm going to unclick it. And I'm going to do trace outer edge. See how ragged it is? That's okay. What I'm going to do is get rid of those two lines on the top. Release compound pad. And then I'm going to select something. Let's see. No, don't want Tinkerbell. I really want that line that's right above Tinkerbell. There we go. Delete it. And the line that's right below. And she's so ragged that I don't want to use that ragged tracing. Really. I'm going to see. I'm really trying something different I hadn't tried before, because I usually modify crop. I'm going to see if I can smooth this out a little bit. So first I will see if I could just take away most of the solid line and delete all those little tiny little pieces. Each one of these pieces is a cut, so release all of those. So next, I'm going to do an external offset. Because sometimes when you do the external offset, it's smooth. Then I can, it's smoother. Bring it down. And I'm going to bring it down so close to the actual line. It's going so slow. Of course, if I knew which number I wanted to put in, I could input that number, but I usually do 0.050. Take out my point, I did 50. Does that help? No, that doesn't help. I think I said it already. We're gonna delete and start over. So select my image, external offset, and change that 2 to 0. Apply. I really want to apply. I do. So which one is the most ragged? The external is better, right? Yeah, but that was too jagged. I'm going to delete that one. So let's see how that looks with Tinkerbell. We're going to bring her to the front. Is she to the front? I think I want her to the front. Let me line her up first. Line her up. I'm going to see if I can use alignment to line them up. Nope. But close. If I can get them as close to an alignment as possible, I'm going to modify and crop. And I could simplify her. I'm not going to do that. Or should I? Let's try it. Let's see. I could. That's Tinkerbell. Let's modify crop. Let's see what I get. That line is still too far off. I need really the offset to be right on Tinkerbell. So let's do an internal offset. Let's put this back on Tinkerbell. This jagged line, and then I'm going to do an internal offset to get it closer to Tinkerbell, or else I have to trace her all over again. Which I could do, but I don't want to. Okay, so let's see. Is that better? That's a little better. Alright, so it's selected. I'm going to click on the offset, internal offset, and increase that internal line until I get that inside red line as close to the Tinkerbell image as possible, without really cutting into her or her wings. And I'm going to change the color to a blue so I can see it. And then I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to send it to the back. I am. I'm going to send it to the back. I'm going to get rid of this one. Send it to the back. Where's my Tinkerbell? Did I delete my Tinkerbell? I did. Control Z. Okay. Control Z, Z, get Tinkerbell back. And what I need to get rid of, I think, is you, not Tinkerbell. That line. Okay. So just know that supposedly behind Tinkerbell is a blue internal offset. So I'm going to select modify crop. And I always get confused as to should the line go in front or the back. I guess the back, because now if I click off of her and I move her, her white background is gone. It's just a little bit of white that's around her, as you see. And I'm not even going to waste time with zooming in and cutting it out with the knife tool, because I want to get to how I make her big for my regular printer. So this is Tinkerbell image that I want to use. I'm going to go up to my cut window and put no cut, because I don't want her to actually cut. And then I am going to create I'm going to create an offset. Or do I want to take a chance and do another internal? I might do an internal. I'm going to bring it a little closer. Internal offset. See how it's close up on it, all ragged. I can increase it a little bit. Increasing an internal makes the outline around the image a little tighter, which maybe that might help me get rid of the white that was around her legs. So if I hit apply and I do modify crop, I should have my final image. Oops, nope, don't like it. She's a little too ragged. So we're going to undo and undo and undo and undo. I like her like she is. We're going to just leave her there. Get rid of that. Delete. Okay, so this is the image we're going to work with. I'm going to do an offset. And I like to make it 0.05. And what color is this offset? It needs to be smoother, but that's another tutorial. Do I want it white? I want it black. I'm going to leave it white. Alright, so we're going to take Tinkerbell. Yes, we are. And I could go modify and simplify that line. If I go to modify in, is it modify? It's not modify. I go to my node tool and keep pushing simplify. If I keep pushing simplify, it's going to make it less jagged and decrease the nose that I have. And I'm just pushing it repeatedly. But I want to push it too much so because eventually it won't be shaped like Tinkerbell. As you see, the lines are less jagged. But it's still an offset. Okay? Still an offset. And I'm going to try to align them, which is not very important right now, but hit the line window, hit center, and it moves it up directly in the middle. Alright, so this is the image that I want. This is going to be my offset. I want Tinkerbell bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the offset along with Tinkerbell, make my window smaller so you can see. Oops, not too small, not too small. No, too small. You can see what I'm doing. It's very sensitive. Alright, so I'm going to grab the corner of this square. I've got both images selected and pull. Pull, pull, pull. Just big. And the bigger you have her, the more pieces of paper you have to use to cut her out. And so I typically like to use 2 and no more. But if I click off of her, and click back on one image, she's 16 inches, 0.9. She's 16.9 something inches tall. And I don't really want her that tall. It sounds good on paper, but I'm going to try to stick. Well, 16 is not bad, because I've done 17 inches. But she's got these wings that are big. But she's wider than my paper. So if she's wider than my paper, which is 9.1 inches, that makes me have to piece the background and the base, and I don't want to do that. She is 8.7, and it's 8.5, and I have margins. I'm going to make her a little bit like 8. And the reason why I select both when I'm sizing is because if I select all the pieces that I need to cut together when I'm increasing or decreasing the size, they'll be relative to each other and match up when I cut. So 8.4 inches wide, 15.5 inches tall. So do I want her any wider, any taller? 16 sounds better, so let me go a little bigger. Little bigger. So click on Tinkerbell, 8.9 wide, 16.5 tall. So we're going to work with that. So we're going to put the offset to the side, and we're going to play with Tinkerbell. So I'm going to enlarge her. I already know that when I enlarge characters, their eyes usually are blurry. Anything that's white on them points out blurry. And as you see, she still has a little white on her, and you can take the time to clean it up a little bit by using your knife tool or your eraser tool. Like if I took my eraser tool, let's make it round, and I brought it over here, I could hold down and go in close and shave that off. You know, get it really perfect so if it cut, I won't have to cut anything by hand. But I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to show you the technique. So what we're going to do is select my knife tool, my curved knife tool, and I'm going to decrease the size on the page so you can sort of see it. We'll increase the size so you can see where to cut. And what I would normally do is I would clean up the, oh no, Control Z. I would clean up the areas in between our, what did I do? My computer's going slow. There we go. See, so I would go ahead and cut these areas out and make them a compound path and clean up the area around her neck. But I'm just going to give you a basic idea of how I would slice these so Tinkerbell could be several pieces. So the first thing I look for are lines. Shadows or lines, and it looks like right here along the bottom of her dress is a dark outline. So we're going to cut that into a piece and do the curved knife tool. Start off my page, go to Tinkerbell, and I'm going to stay on the dark edge of the line, not her skin, so that when I piece it back together, if I need to ink the edges, because the paper that I cut on is white cardstock, you won't see that. It won't look bad. So I try to cut into a natural crease or a natural dark line on the image. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to Control Z and go here and here. You take little bitty steps, and each time you click, it gives you like a cut area. And so double click, you can end that process. The computer's thinking. Alright, so her legs are a piece. Next, we're going to go up to where we can cut her again, because I already know she probably needs to be cut in 3 pieces. Somewhere inconspicuous. Her wings usually pose a problem. I usually cut in the outfit, or I remove the head from the body. But the head from the body's got the wing all around it, so that won't help me. It could, but it's going to be a little bit of work. Let me think. I'm going to zoom out so I can look at her as a whole and figure this out. And as you see, she's already getting down to a manageable size to fit on this paper. There are her legs. And I will turn her legs this way. Right there. And then her. So where do I want to cut her again? Now again, you could clean up these little edges around her hand. I could do her. She's still going to be long, so it doesn't do me any good to start here for her wings and take her head off. Well, it might. It might. Okay, I'm going to do something creative here. Let's try this. I'm going to zoom in here. slide her like this way. Get my knife too. Do my curved knife, and we're gonna go. I could go through here, 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 all these fingers out. I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna take her head. I think. I really want to go around her. I want to do her head. If I do her head, see, her skin is light, and I like to go through dark. We're gonna try this one. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I want to stay within the shadow. And she has a very dark green line here. Now, if I can find a high resolution image of Tinkerbell that actually had outlines in the image, I could cut along the black line. But right now, this is all I have. And I think I need to make that bigger so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. It gets blurry. And this really takes a little bit of time. I'm rushing just so you can get the gist of the idea. Because I've already spent this time, as I said, doing this 2 times before. First time I think I did another Doc McStuffins. Then I realized I need to do a Tinkerbell. So the second time, it was really good. I gave some tips and things on copy and pasting eyes, so you don't have to try to draw them from scratch. And I used, I think, Princess Ariel's, somebody who with blue eyes. Some SVGs or vector files or something online where I didn't have to draw them from scratch. Here we go. And I blow it up, enlarge it so I can see where I need to cut. Because the silhouette is so precise. Alright, so I'm going to go up there. And you can move this. As long as you don't click on the page, you're good. I can move that. Go back to her arm. Continue with my knife. Not as close in some areas that I want to be. Now you can use the curved line tool versus the knife tool and then do a modify crop. It'll be closer. And you can adjust the nodes if you need to. I'm going to cut through here. Yeah, I'll cut through here. And then that cut. And we'll see. I'm going to make it small so you can see. And if it's a clean cut all the way through, she will separate. And she separates. And that fits on the page. So I'm going to turn her. And I'm going to show you a couple of other tricks. Like these are her wings. She does not fit on this page. But I got plenty of space. And I don't know where I would chop her. I could come around her head, around here, then up here. But her wings are still too big. Her wings are still too big, and they will need to be probably cut on separate paper. I could probably outline Tinkerbell, like outline her head and kind of cut it here at the neck and at the seam. But I'm still gonna have to put her wings on another page. So I rather print and cut her in one piece. Alright, so here's my trick. I'm going to make her bigger. And so when I print her out bigger, I already know her eyes will not be clear. They'll be blue. Whenever there's a white area that you enlarge, like if you look at the pom-poms or the puffs on her shoes, here, they're not white. They're kind of gray. They're not going to print up as white. And so what I do is I overlay them with images and color them in. So I'm going to make a circle that I approximately think is the size of that ball, that ball should be. And let's get rid of that. Get rid of that and then move that over and color it white. You think, oh, white is so bright, but it looks so much better when you print it. And I may actually use like a tiny pom-pom. I think I will, to give it some 3-dimensional effect. So I'm going to duplicate that. Well, how about this? Select the circle, go to my cut window, and no cut. So when I duplicate it, the duplicated image will have no cut as well. No cut, move it down on top of pom-pom number 2, on top of her other shoe. Right. And go back to my regular style window so I can see the colors. Okay, so another thing that I could do, I could put an outline around all the pieces of white so that they will all seem uniform when I put them together. But what I'll do is I'll overlap this dress to her legs. And so if it's got a white outline over it, it's going to look weird being over her legs. And leave them like they are. And I can go in and use my eraser to shape these up. I just kind of did it fast. Cut that out. But let's fix her eyes. Because I know they're going to be... and I have to remember, I'm going to group her leg and those pom-poms together. But when I enlarge her, I don't actually enlarge the finished image. I just enlarge the screen so I can see her eyes better. And I would love some Tinkerbell eyes, but you see how they get pixelated when I increase them? But I searched and I couldn't find any Tinkerbell eyes. I could try drawing them freehand, and that's possible too, but it takes so long. Let's see, it's about that size for her eye. I do that all the time. I'm going to do one way and one another way. Oops, pick the circle. Pick the circle. That's the circle. I want it kind of elongated, like her eye is, and that's going to be blue. Then she's going to have another circle that's black. That's about that size. Oh, I do that every time. Alright, so look at that. No. See? Select that circle. Do that. Alright, so select you, and you're going to be the black part of the eye. Small. Kind of. And then she needs a glimmer in her eye, which is going to be a tiny little circle about that size. Right. So now, what do I do? Okay. No, another circle. Select that tiny circle. And it's going to be white. I'm also going to go ahead and select this circle and this circle and that circle. Got that little bitty circle in the middle. I don't know if I can select it. It's not working out. Let's see. I want to do no cut while I'm thinking about it. Shift. Nope. Okay, and then the teeny tiny circle. Nope. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead to the cut window and put no cut. Because I do not want her eyes cutting out. Alright, so I got the tiny glimmer in her eye circle. What I have found, though, if I color them while I'm editing them. Okay, what is it? Let's get smaller. Maybe that'll help. I need to unselect Tinkerbell. Okay. Get this tiny little circle and stick it over there for the glimmer of her eye, which isn't quite big enough, but there we go. What I really need is this oval shape as a white. So I'll take my line tool. I'm going to zoom in on her eye. Tell you what, since I zoomed in on her eye, I noticed that this circle needs to go that way and over a little bit, and this circle needs to go that way and up and over, and that's a little too big. And this glimmer needs to go over, up, angle it, over. And a little bigger. And I will color those in a minute. But what I'm working on right this moment is curve line tool, and I need to draw her eye, which is going to be here, 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 here. And she's got like these muted lashes. I'll dig with those later. And I have these very thin pens, art pens, that I can highlight. Okay, now if I double click that line, it'll take me to the node window, and I can move these nodes in and curve them, and I can actually select and put a node in so it fits her eye better. Like here, I think that node needs to be, I think I need one right there, and out, and take that in. Yeah. Alright, so that's going to be white. Let's go ahead and start doing some coloring. I need for it to be back to the select tool. I need for it not to cut. No cut. Go back to the main screen. And I need it to be white. Alright, so it's white, but it's in front of everything. I can't see anything, so I'm going to send, I'm going to try backwards. I'll do it again. Again. Next shape comes up. If I say send to the back, it's going to go behind Tinkerbell, which is still okay because I can fix it. Okay, so this is her blue eye. I'm going to go over here and select the blue that's in this eye, but I want it a little, I want it vivid. I don't want it dark blue. I want it vivid blue. I don't really see a vivid blue over there. Wrong. Go Z. Alright, let's pick what I want. I want this. How about this? We're going to pick that, and I know it's black. We're going to pick this, and I know it's white. Okay. Now that I'm picking, and it needs to be a vivid, vibrant blue. Let's see if I can fix that color. I want it like a piercing blue. That's better. I like that better. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is tilt this blue a little bit and move it into the white a little bit. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do with this, I don't know if I'm going to make it smaller. Tilted. Bring this node here, this node there, and there. Okay, and move this over, tilt it a little bit more. I think that's good. And this, I'm going to do an offset of black. And it's going to be very, very small. And all I want to do is outline that white part of the eye in a black. In a dark, light black color. Give it some, to define it a little bit. And so when I go to my line window, line style, and I'm going to say print line, and it's going to print that black line. So all this, oops, Control Z, all that, I want it to group. Ooh, how can I do that? Because it's selecting line, eye, blue, black, or white, and black, and we're going to group it. And then we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to flip it horizontally, and we're going to move it over. Now this eye on the other side, it's squinted. It's not quite the same, So I don't want her to look weird. So I'm going to ungroup these for a second. Because of the way her head is slanted, it doesn't fit. But that was funny. I think that was funny. Gonna tilt you, not you, Tinkerbell. Control Z. Alright, so let's take Tinkerbell, which I've selected, and the eye, and I'm going to group them because I don't want it to keep moving. Uh-oh, Control Z. Something's not right. What have I done? Alright, so let's see. I'm going to tilt you. Make you smaller. There we go. And take this black. Tilt you. And you know, I can go over here to my color window and go to advanced while I'm on this black, and I can make it transparent so I can see behind the black, so that when I am selecting it and turning it, I can see that I'm actually overlaying it on the eye below, and that it's the right size, because that black circle is really kind of big for the eye on this side because of the way her face is angled. Alright, so then I can put the blue and make it less transparent. It's going to still print it's still going to print the right color. It's just you can see it better. And tilt it this way and move it over. We're getting there. It's a lot of work, really. And I'm going to tilt that white in her eye. Bring it down. Not quite right. The glimmer. It's not quite right. And then this is totally wrong. But let's see. Oh no, they gotta go together. Z. That plus that plus that. 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 So this shift plus that. This. If I can get it out of node move. The black part of the eye, shift plus the white part of the eye, I'm going to group them first. Then I'm going to go up here. Can I align them after I group them? Let's see. I might not be able to. Nope. Nope. Let's ungroup them. Ungroup. Now let's align them. Center them. There we go. Now let's regroup them. Group. So that I can move them together and shape them together. I'm going to go to the color window. My color fill window, and make them more transparent, so I can see Tinkerbell's face and eyes behind them. And I'm going to make the eyes back normal color. Normal color. Alright. So let's put this over here. It's going to be quite interesting because I got to skew it. I got to do something with it I'm not used to doing. I think I can. I think I'm going to be able to. First, I got to get it to the right size, which is not quite that. Down, around. Oops, nope. Let's Tinkerbell. And up. Over. Then there's this one. I wish they had handles on it, like in the Cricut. Because I don't know if I want 15 degrees. I don't know what I want. I just know I need it skewed. That's a little bit. That's 15. Was that 15? Let's see. Oh, and then I got my window. Okay, we're good. I'm going to go like this and see. Uh-oh. I think I figured something out. a little bit darker. And where this goes, her eyes look weird. So we're going to change this back to go to the color fill window and then go to options, make it less transparent. Oops, and I'm going to send it backwards. Not quite back, just backwards. And again, and again, and again, and again. Send backwards. So I get all three parts of the eye back. Send backwards. Now, the eye, the blue, the white, the blue, the black, the blue, the black, the glimmer, and a group. Now hopefully none of them are cutting. None are cutting. So go back to regular window. And let's zoom out, see what she looks like. See how pretty her eyes are? They're pretty. So you're going to select her, select the face, select the Tinkerbell, and group. And that way the eye won't come apart. So now look. Select Tinkerbell, go to your cut window, and cut edge only. It's a little jagged, but that's okay, remember? Cut edge only. That's only because we rushed. Cut edge only. Ooh, they're a lot jagged. How can I fix that? Let's see if I can do the nose. I mean, those are her shoes. I'm going to have to work with it. Now, when I cut her, we're going to make it small when I cut her. First, I'll send it through my printer, like that. And I will print and then cut on the silhouette. So I'm going to group these two together. And then I will group. Ooh, one of her eyes didn't do right. Something, see, her eye is there. That's alright. Let's see if we can move her. And she's still too big for a regular piece of paper. So I'm still going to have to cut her. Where is it? I'm still going to have to cut her wing. Where's her eye? Bring it to the front. That goes right on top of there. And it groups with her body group. It's just one piece. Alright, so she's still not going to fit. And so what I'll need to do is figure out another creative place to cut her. Which I didn't want to do, but I can. So here. And here. I already know where I'm going to do it. So if I get my knife tool, I'm going to start here. And work my way around here. Inside of her hair. Because that's the darkest line. Because her wing, there's so much creative things I can do with her wing. I mean, I really could cut that too, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to cut her face, down her neck, and they really will line up. You can't see. Here, here, double click. She's going to turn to a cut. I hope she is. And remove. Let's go out now and see how we're looking. Her wing is interesting. Guess I have to... Ooh, I didn't want to do that. This is something. Let's see. I'm going to have to cut her again. I prefer to only cut like... oh, she's got a slit here. I'm going to cut her there. Prefer to only cut like 3 or 4 pieces, or the legs together, or... because this won't work, I need to computer slow because I got all this stuff on the screen, but that's okay. Cut, snip, and snip. This is one long video and I apologize, but they are detailed. Very much so. I think I'm gonna, let's see, do I want to cut her head off? That'd be the simplest thing for me to do versus trying to go around her head, around that wing. I don't know what happened. Let's go back. I don't know what happened. It took it away, so I'm going to start the line here. That's the mailman with my mail. Okay, so now let's go back to page view. So, I took her body off so she fits on the page. Finally. And all these images, you have to remember, they have to be flipped so you can get a side too. And if you break her up into too many pieces, you won't remember where they go. You have to print out a picture. Good thing about Tinkerbell. Let's see. Let's make her smaller. Because remember, I don't like to use more than 2 pieces of paper. Is there something there I need to cut out? Nope. 2 pieces of paper. So that's a piece of her. This a piece of her. And I'm wondering if I could fit all 3 of those pieces here. Put a wing over here. Put a arm over here. Because I've already kind of grouped those other pieces. If I must. This is her wing. And we're almost done. Okay, that's not working. Let's put a wing here. Yeah, put a wing there. Group that. So that will cut, and then you'll put it back on your mat. You'll print it. Cut it, and then put it back on your mat, flip it, print it, and cut it. And then you bring these over, and I'm hoping I can fit the rest of her body on here. So I can only use 2 sheets of paper. And that's going to give me, a Tinkerbell that's big. Okay, let's move it down. Oops, ungroup. It's going to give me a Tinkerbell that's huge. And there are other tricks you can do. You can trick your printer to think you have larger paper by taping 2 sheets together, and say you have an 8.5 by 21.5 sheet of paper. Okay, so we're going to group that. Alright, so then I would print this out, and then put it on my regular printer, and then put it on the Silhouette mat and cut it out. And then flip it horizontally, print and cut again. Then I would use this base. Now this base, did I group it? Yeah. This base, I would use, go to regular paper, here. And you can cut her. But that's not what I would do. If you have a 12 by 12 mat, you can cut your base, and you have to cut one size long. You make 2 of these, make 2 copies of these, and then cut one portion longer than the other. And I'll show you what I mean. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my 12 by 24 inch mat, but duplicate. Alright, so say you have her and she fits on this mat. Take your knife tool, just cut. No matter where, just cut. Did you cut? I need you cutting. There, cut. Okay? So you got 2 pieces. That's the bottom and the top. And so what I would do now, one of these has to be longer than the other. I'll just change the color so you'll be able to see it. Line them up. I would prefer to cut the bottom piece long, but I end up always cutting the top piece long. Like your cut tool. See how I'm not cutting right on that line? I'm going to make it bigger, longer. And the reasoning for this is because you have to overlap them. So what did I cut long? I cut that long. So I'm going to get rid of that piece. So that's the long piece. This was the short piece. And you have to cut both of them twice on 2 different papers so that you can piece overlap them. I'm going to give you room to overlap them. And then once you overlap a front and a back, you can use them as a base for 2 sides to put all your Tinkerbell pieces on, and glue them and put your popsicle sticks in the middle and make your display. However, that's not what I'm going to do. I am going to use, I'm going to use my 12 by 24 inch mat. Yes, I am. Let's get rid of all these Tinkerbell pieces. Oops. I'm going to use my 12 by 24 inch mat. Move her out the way. And I'm going to tape 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper together. Right, so my paper will be like 12. Let's see. Which one is the height? That's the height. This is the height. So I'm going to have like a 12 by 23 inch piece of paper. Yeah, I'm going to tape them together and put them on the mat. And cut them as one. So just pretend that this is just one overlay together. Modify, weld. Yeah. Color it white. Then I would cut this like that. That way my base at least would be not pieced together. And that's it. So I hope this tutorial helps. I hope they're sound. And I hope the quality is good, that you can see it. And I'm sorry it was so long, but it's detailed, and hopefully that will help the person who requested a little bit more detail, a little bit more than you needed or wanted, I think. But I'm glad to answer it. So if you have any other questions or need me to show any other videos, please don't hesitate. And thank you. Please don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.